Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Rama Ram, Jai Govinda, Gopala, Hare Krishna, Govinda, Gopala, Hare Krishna, Radhe 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 Sham, Jai Govinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Rama Ram, Radhe 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 Sham, Jai Govinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Rama Ram, Jai Govinda, Gopala, Hare Krishna, Govinda, Gopala, Hare Krishna, Radhe 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 Sham, Jai Govinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Rama Ram, Radhe 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 Sham, Jai Govinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Rama Ram, Radhe 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 Sham. Most beloved Guruji, Om Namo Namo Shivaya. All is turning into you. Om Namo Namo Shivaya. I give everything to you. You let me bathe in endless grace. Questions, sorrow and desires, all dispelled by your embrace. Most beloved Guruji, Om Namo Namo Shivaya. All is turning into grace. Om all is turning into you. You let me bathe in endless grace. Question, sorrow and desires, all dispelled by your embrace. Most beloved Mooji, Om Namo Namo Shivaya. All is turning into you. You let me bathe in endless grace. Question, sorrow and desires, all dispelled by your embrace. All dispelled by your embrace. Your heart is the light of this world. It needs to just fully be seen. Bathe in the river of your being. You need not to be anything. Peace and love is your fragrance, but the flower no one can find. Your heart is the light of this world. It needs to just fully be seen. Om Hari 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 Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om Hari Om Hari Hari. Your heart is the light of this world. It needs to just fully be seen. Bathe in the river of your being. You need not to be anything. Peace and love is your fragrance, but the flower no one can find. Your heart is the light of this world. It needs to just fully be seen.
Oh, namaste, welcome everyone to this meeting today here in Haarlem. I'm very, very happy. I can speak for the team that came with myself to say we are very happy to be in this wonderful country. It's been brewing for some time, and now we find we're here. I'm very happy. For these few days we had to acclimatize ourselves to hot Holland. And so welcome. May I say welcome also to those who will be joining us via broadcasting. These two Satsangs here will be also broadcasting. And so welcome all those who are joining via this wonderful technology that enables us to be sharing Satsang in real time together wherever you may be in the world. So thank you. And this wonderful hall also. May it become the hall of awakening, maybe. Is such a thing possible? We're here to find out. We have these two Satsangs today, and then in a few days we'll travel on from Haarlem and for the retreat. I think it's called Barlow. What I'm wanting to convey is that we are so open to the possibility of what I feel we've come to share, and I'm very happy for that, because I feel that there can be at least one stage. There seems to be an echo. Can you hear well at the back? There's some shaking hands, not hello hands. Myself, I'm hearing a little echo, and I don't know if that is interfering with your ability to hear. Can you hear well up there? It is not so. Well. Oh, it's me again. Okay. But I don't know if it is something that is to do with the hall or what, but it is still a little tinny and a bit echoey. It would be good if we could just get a bit beyond that, because I really would not like that any word go amiss, basically. So we are taking a look at it at the moment. So I'll carry on in the meantime, and to say that I feel that what is possible today is that if within you, inside your heart, if there's an openness, if there's an urge or the desire to go beyond the more limited field of personhood, is it getting worse? The limited field of personhood into the unbound space of awareness, which you will find is your essential being. It will not be a foreign feeling for you. I think I'm going to wait for a moment and see if we can correct the sound. But there's definitely an echo. On this layer, you are fine with hearing on this level, but upstairs is still. You want it to be louder? Oh. Okay. It feels more clear now? Okay. I will just continue and say that what is pleasing for me is that I'm totally confident that in these 2 sessions of satsang, if somehow the openness is there, I don't see why it should not be. For sure, there will be a deepening of one's self-awareness as to our true place and true nature. It will not be at a cost, necessarily, to our dynamic life, the life that we are used to in our everyday life. I was not asking you to sacrifice anything of that. However, there must be an openness, and that if you discover something so profound and so much in harmony with your heart, that you'll be continuing to be open to the implication and the effect of that discovery. You see, can I speak like this? And, for a number of years, I was engaging with beings like yourself around the world with what we called self-inquiry. And self-inquiry has been a proven method for exposing the unreality of personhood, that cannot be our true state. So it began with the exposing of this, and then the further and deeper guidance into our true nature. That went on for a number of years, but it came to the point that more recently I felt that with the arising of what I'm going to present to you, which we call the invitation to freedom, it became more accessible, meaning that it was not being presented as any deep and complex challenges or something. That through understanding, and not just mental understanding leading to any intellectual convictions, but an understanding that really is felt in your entirety, in its entirety within your entire system, an understanding that is that deep and that profound, would be a tremendous assistance in the continuing or unfolding of your awakening. So I am going to put it to you that if it were presented in this way, as I'm attempting to do now, to say that I cannot guarantee, but for sure I have great confidence that if it were presented to you, that there is a possibility to come to a deeper experiential understanding of your true nature today. Would you be open to this?
Yes.
At the top? Okay, you can hear also? Some hand, yeah, that's very good. It's very, very good. I say this also because in the short time we have, I did not want to, I'm sure many people come and have questions they would like to ask. And of course, I would attempt to take these questions and see what response could come in the moment. But I'm stepping over that for just for the moment, and to say I would like to start at the end. So what it means is that what we would hope for by going through all the questions and the doubts and so on, to go through the forest of clearing that forest of doubts and so on, and our personal questions, that if we could be at the place where we would hope to resolve those doubts and questions as early as possible, without doing it one by one, I feel that it is much more holistic, much more universal actually. So the invitation begins like this, you see, that let's say someone has come and say, Mooji, I've heard that maybe you can guide me or help me a little bit to go beyond my superficial mind and thinking and person, and to discover what so many beings have in the past, we have read about them, the term of awakening or self-realization, what it means. Is it really possible, or is it a myth? Is it possible that you could help me at least to further or to deepen my research to the extent that it becomes a true and living experience for me? And sensing that there was some earnestness, a genuineness about such an approach, I call out from the room of being, I say, okay, you come in. But before you do, please leave your shoes outside, traditionally. Please leave your shoes outside and you can come. Oh, one more thing, I say. Before you come in, could you leave your mind outside? And you say, yes, I knew it was a catch, you see. Yeah, I'm trying to leave my mind outside for so many years, how I can do that? So my response would simply be, don't worry, it's something very simple. What I mean by leaving your mind outside is that for the short duration of the guidance that I will offer you, very simple, please don't talk about the past. Just for 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Can you agree to not bring up memories about the past and what you've done and where you've been and how many gurus you've sat with and how long you can meditate and so on? Can we not talk about this? And you say, it's fine, okay. And also, obviously I'm going to ask you also, please, could we not do this about the future also? That, yes, I would like to become really, really enlightened, and I'd like to do all these things, and this is the kind of world I would like to see. I would like to help to bring in this new age of the world and so on. I said, no, please, don't go there for now. Let's just be only now for now, okay? So thoughts about past and your person and so on, please, let's not talk about it for 15 minutes or so. And about the future, just for now, we don't speak about it because nobody knows really about the future. Not even if you are Nostradamus or whatever, we don't really know, okay? So let's not talk about these things. And even the present moment, could we also include this by saying, please don't start to interpret the very present moment. So what I'm really asking for is from the very beginning, and we have already begun, by the way, is to be empty. So you're not a container of concepts and ideas and so on. So this is all I ask. We suspend all these habits, I'm going to call them habits for now also, conditioning and so on, just to leave them to the side for now, so that you're not carrying a bunch of concepts that I have to deal with right now. So if that feels okay, can we proceed? You agree? Voice is getting weaker. Okay, I am going to ask you actually from time to time that just for some feedback, so I see that you're not sleeping, for instance. For some people, it's not uncommon that as we begin to just relax, we lapse into sleep. So please don't go to sleep. Okay? Okay, so I'm asking you suspend these ideas, memories, identity also. What sort of person you consider yourself to be and this type of thing. It is not necessary if to awaken to your true nature is what is important to you, then what kind of person you think yourself to be obviously is not a contributing factor to that. It gets in the way. What I will promise is that these things that I'm going to ask that we leave aside just for the duration of our guidance now, they will still be there waiting for you at the end of our little exercise. You don't think you need to worry that somebody is going to run off with your stuff. I don't think, okay? So it will be right there so that at the end of the exercise you can say, oh, thank you, and I will collect my stuff and I'll go and I'll see you later or something. No? So just leave them for a moment and check in that you're already feeling that space, that sort of spaciousness. Just by agreeing to leave these thoughts, these habits, concern, conditioning to the side. And we can do this. It is not that difficult actually. So no past. Future projections. We will not accept this now. And even in the moment, mind wants to chatter and comment, and give its guidance, and also, no thank you, not now, later, like this. Also the habit to be imagining something or visualize. We are not going to ask you to be visualizing or imagine something. So no creative thinking is necessary also. So that if someone feels I'm not a very imaginative person, I'm not going to do very well at this, you needn't worry. So you can't fail at the simple advice I'm offering. Okay? So just like this, notice also that we're coming almost away from the outward thinking. You're not doing anything, but you're simply finding that you should be in a more relaxed and spacious sense of being. No? Also the habit to think, okay, what's next? I'm going to ask you, don't engage with that habit or tendency from the mind to say, okay, I'm here, now what? What's the next thing? So be aware of that, but still just keep your attention just right where you are. Simply this. Any self-image also we will suspend this for the duration of this guidance. We're moving just more deeply into a kind of stillness. It is not an hypnosis. I'm not going to throw magic powder in your face. Everything is a sober recognition right now. Any sense of waiting or expectation, be aware of this and simply leave them. Don't engage. So, not waiting. If you can willingly notice this and don't engage with the feeling of waiting, already again your sense of presence is more deep, natural silence and stillness. Notice that you are not doing anything. You're simply not engaging with the usual habits of the mind. You're not in a trance. You're simply here. Please just pay attention to what is really just here. As you have been listening and cooperating with my guidance to say leave these things, don't be holding on to any favorite ideas or concepts, or any person that you are attached to or something like this, just for the moment. I'm sure you can allow that space just by yourself. So, not you plus, just yourself, just this. No self-image, no intention, no expectations, no past, no future. Notice that you're still fully here. No stories also. See how possible it is just to be. Not to become, just to be. I had to invite you to this place, this space now. Remain awake. I had to invite you to this space so that I can ask you some simple questions. When I say simple, I mean that you don't have to think so much about them and just give the responses as yes or no. That's all. And the better that you can voice your responses rather than just think them, it will be very good. So, first point I will raise. This, whatever it is, space or state, it has no name actually. But I am just going to refer to it as the what is, or the isness. Okay? Is it a form? No. Is it an object? Is it the product of your senses? No. Just one space. Are you imagining it? No. Are you creating anything? No. Just stay in this noticing, that's all. This, whatever it is, ness, Does it have any shape or size? No. Is it a mood? Not a mood. Does it have any attitude? No attitude. Can it become, say, depressed? No. Agitated? Can it be attacked? Whoa. Can it be flattered? Impressed? Can it be owned by any person or organization and used against or for anybody? No, it is not. Does it need your belief in order to exist? I'm going to say again. Does it exist because of your belief? No. Okay. Here is one no. Can mind exist outside of it? And while I'm on this question, may I just ask you, is there any boundary beyond which it is not? Can I ask a question like this? Is there any boundary to it? Can it be sick? Does it have a beginning? Here is one for you. Can it fade? Again, please, can it fade? So that right now it's really in focus, but if you, tomorrow morning, oh, it's kind of fading. Can it fade? No, it cannot fade. I wonder if I can ask you this one. Was it born? Sorry? No, not born. Can it die? You are discovering this now. But where has it been all this time? Huh? Here. So it's not new. Okay, this question I want to ask you. For everybody I ask this question. How close are you to it? Look. A few centimeters, a meter. Someone say, I am it. So we don't need to stretch to reach it? Travel? So let me just try and summarize what we have just been doing. In these short moments together, and just by asking you to just leave the usual habit, of engaging with stories and the mind and thoughts and self-examination and criticisms and about future also, just leaving these things aside, not owning anything, not holding on to anything at all for now. I've been asking you these questions. That which remains, I asked you, is it an object? And you said it is not. Can I ask you one more thing? Is it personal? It's not personal. It is not personal. It has no shape or size. Is it an aura? Pardon? No, not aura, not aura. It's not that. I asked you, does it exist because of your belief? And you said, no, it doesn't believe. So you didn't imagine it or produce it. Did you create it? No, it is not created. You did not create it. I asked you if it can be sick or depressed, and you said no, it cannot be sick or depressed. I asked, can it fade? Whatever it is. Can it fade? You say it cannot fade. What about after 3 months? Little bit fade? No, okay, it cannot fade. And I asked, can the mind exist apart from or outside of it? And you said no. Is it still no?
Yes.
Okay. And I asked, where has it been? Because you're discovering this now. I hope not merely through thought, but you're actually in this discovering now. I said, you're discovering it now, but where has it been all this time? You said, it has always been here. Then I asked you, was it born? And you said, it was not born. I asked you, can it die? These are questions that are baffling many, many people. You said, without thinking, it cannot die. And then I ask only this question. Finally, how close are you to it? Is it in reaching distance? You said, no distance, no distance. And your answer, I didn't see you looking around to see what the next person was saying. It seemed like it came from yourself. If your responses are what I've just represented to you, if they are true, then your responses are all about you, about yourself, about what you are. Surprise? Why did I ask you to leave your usual habits aside? or to suspend your ways of operation in the mind, so that you could respond to this without opinions. Your answers had to come from somewhere else other than your usual cerebral activities. It must come from a deep knowing. But it is not mere knowing of information. Would you agree or not? Yes. So I'm just giving a few moments now to let that settle, what I've just said, that if these responses from you are true, you're honest, they can only be about yourself, what you are in truth. Now the mind might say, no, hang on a second. No. Don't forget your problems. Don't forget all this trouble you are experiencing. How can that be you? You must be dreaming. I say, my God, you don't yet fully realize what you are discovering. Where do we go from here? If this is true, if it is not the product of fanciful thinking or imagination or speculation, if it is true today, it has to be true tomorrow and all tomorrows. Does this fluctuate, change and become something else? No. Everything that we perceive through the senses and the mind come and go, appear, disappear, rise, fall, like clouds passing. Watched from this place of isness, what I'm referring to as isness. What really is here? Is it agitated? Does it worry? How to reconcile these two seemingly very different states? The state of personhood, which is full of thoughts and opinions and judgments and fears and imagination. And this, which is actually wordless. I did not ask you to control your senses and to suppress anything at all. Let them continue functioning in their natural, according to their natural laws. Who is your person? I ask you, is this person? Is it personal? And yet the sense of the personal is observable. It's felt. Can this be intimidated by the person? Does it get frustrated by the person's activities? And being true to my promise, the exercise is over. Okay? So you are very much welcome to go and reclaim your baggage, and I don't think anyone will steal them from you. And like this. Now someone has asked before, but how does this, how to move with this? How to be? I said, well, how are you moving like this now? I would also encourage, simply be with this. When you can, be conscious of it. Even remembering it, even a feeling of, the exercise is finished. Is it finished? Can I ask you also? The exercise is finished. As I said, 15 minutes or so is finished, 20 minutes or so. Has any change happened to the isness? No. If I were to say, listen, just for the sake of testing it out, throw it away. Throw it away, throw it away. It's only exercise, okay? It never happened, okay? Throw it away. Can you do it or not? Oh my God. Now, what is likely to happen, I want to tell you about that, is that a force that functions within all sentient beings, certainly in our human kingdom, seems to work to sabotage this understanding in you, to keep our attention fixated only onto material things, perishable things, momentary occurrences, and over time not being aware of this. And who is it that's not aware of it? Who was it who was not aware of it? Not being aware of it, somehow. A life was produced in that ignorant state, and a life that is always changing, always changing, always changing. Now, change is also necessary and good in the realm of changefulness. This is very natural. Somehow there is that which is unchanging in the heart of the changing. There's like a stillness inside every movement. The invisible inside the visible. The timeless playing inside of time. I'm not going to give you a lot of things to think about, it's not necessary. What is important is just to keep appreciating, acknowledging, remembering, because even the act of remembering is perceived in it. Can you see this? Yes. Even intention, oh, I'm going to do that, is already perceived in it. But acknowledging, remaining just true to this feeling, advice that seems almost too simplistic, but your appreciation, your welcoming works. Gradually, this is a fruit that keeps getting sweeter and sweeter by itself, but never becomes oversweet and never decays. This is my happy news to you. The rest you must discover. Just by paying attention to it, waves of illumination will spontaneously arise within you as the mind becomes more clear. But don't talk about it. Mind wants to talk about it. Stay with it. You can talk about anything else, but here, stay with this. Be with it. Acknowledge it, remember it, appreciate it, love it, be it. And don't accept any help offered from your mind. It does not need any help. You have not yet discovered how magical your life can be. And yet, there are things to talk about and to share, to say, watch for that, watch for this tendency. And a part of the way that we are going to continue transcending, evolving, if you want to say that aspect of ourself, our dynamic aspect, will continue developing and growing. Maybe at a more true and a quicker rate, because it does not have the intrusive egoic identity to deal with it. Although it is going to come up, ego is you're going to feel some kind of backlash from ego. Doubts will come. But for whom? Will it be doubts for the isness? Then find out for whom they come. They will come for the idea you have of who you are. And it is good that they come, that you will use your powers of discernment to test out these seeming attacks that will come, to raise doubts, did this, that was, yeah, can I have another round of this invitation? Sure you can. In Mantasahaja where we live, the invitation is played every day for those who wish to sit and hear again and confirm again, because in the same way that many bad habits came because of repetition, also it cannot harm you to hear that which reminds you of your freedom, not just as a mental reminder, but as in listening deeply, you find that your listening is confirming. Immediate sadhana. Sadhana means spiritual practice normally. So it's not, oh, later I will do. No, just as you hear, it is being confirmed somehow in you. You can verify, and you will grow with the authority of your own experience. So that you have come to see that which cannot be seen with the eyes of your head, but seen more deeply in your being. This seeing will continue to become increasingly clear and deep and joyful. In your dynamic life, if you continue to honor what you see, you'll find your expression more loving, more kind, more wise, less afraid. And it keeps getting better. The more you love it, the more you appreciate, the more it deepens and widens in you. But my advice, to not be willing to talk about it and talk about it. Because the mind will turn it into some trash. And don't think that by talking about it is your way of deepening in it. To deepen in it, sit by yourself. Marinate your attention in it. As I said earlier, this advice may seem oversimplistic, maybe even naive, but it works. Why? Because you are already this. This is why I ask you, are you creating this? No, you're merely discovering. When we don't know this, we overuse the mind to project, to imagine. But knowing this and being this are one. Can you see this? Yes. It's not one thing knowing another thing. It is this maturing inside itself. Let's just take a few moments just to sit with this. But not imagine. There's nothing to imagine. There's nothing to dream. It is totally possible to be with this as this. Mind will always be sending you on another journey, another mission, another thing to do or to accomplish. But here you are. This you are-ness or I amness is most significant. Your being rather than your doing. Feel. Don't imagine. Right now, you're in the purity of your own awakening. No images are needed. You are sitting inside your wholeness. No images are needed. If there's any sense or feeling of agitation, it does not belong to this. Now you'll begin to recognize more clearly the difference between yourself and your mind. Where is your boundary? Don't touch mind. Use him later, not now. Get used to this deep sense of being which has no labels. Don't be so easily pulled into shape. Stay shapeless. And miraculously, because your form is here, the intellect is here, everything, actions, reactions, interactions will unfold spontaneously. Staying as you are, you will begin to notice the dirt that comes from the mind. You are not this dirt. How to clean? Keep remembering this. Be loyal to what you discover. Now I know that questions are going to start bubbling up at some point, but we don't need to entertain them just at the moment. You are in the joy of your own self, in the peace of your natural self. For some people, it will be a state of deep peace right now. For others, maybe a feeling of joy. From the mind, if it gets the chance, it will tell you you're lost. And based upon the whole habit and relationship with the mind, you may believe it. Notice that you're not waiting. How does it feel to be not waiting? When you're resting inside your own being, not waiting, not expecting, not anticipating. You're timeless. Oh, there's a place for time, of course, inside the immensity of your timelessness. You don't need to give any of this to your mind. Take a little break, and you'll notice that these things will be shown to you. Don't push to work anything out. Value this. Just a simple sense of being. Experience what it is to be without category. When we know this, this knowledge will automatically bless every aspect of your expression. This is the simplicity of true spirituality. It is a joy. And yet there will be moments when you must look and be very present with when the tsunamis of the mind will come. they will only succeed if it pulls you back into the state of personhood. Because all problems are person-based. You will be at your weakest if you're functioning only in personhood. When you know and be who you are, the person can be there, it's okay. It is only a costume. It is okay. But when we take it to be our fundamental or essential nature, trouble comes. I have not heard from one being to tell me they don't have enough trouble. What is this? Where are the boundaries? And yet, true and natural discipline happens in it. Wisdom widens in this because the space is offered. The sense of not knowing is not a negative state. When knowingness needs to shine, it will come by itself. For the moment, don't go into the creative impulses of the mind. Stay in your beingness. Be beingness. See that in your waking state, the mind doesn't always have to be in some gear. Experience this field of neutrality. Get used to it. You are not wasting time. You are beyond time. And yet, with time. Now we are going to take a break, and I would encourage that during this time between now And the next meeting, which is at 4:30, that just remain conscious of this. It doesn't need help, just to remain conscious. And even if some old stuff comes in from the mind and so on, you can watch it with more distance, it's fine. If a thing needs to be done, of course, do it. But it's not an exchange. Can the beingness be exchanged? No. Everything is taking place inside it. It may be that for now you will not know how to explain that. It's fine. Outwardly, do what you have to do. Inwardly, you're like a child in the lap of God. Your life is going to flower with inner richness and depth and wisdom if you honor yourself. This is true self-respect, to honor what you have discovered today. For many of you, it may be a beginning. But there will be no end. Thank you. I believe Omi is coming to play something. Now, another thing that I would just say, because we have noticed it happened in a few places, it's happened like that. That mind says, it's lunchtime. I've been so good. I've been so quiet. Now, let's meet or whatever. But this is not, neither be fighting to suppress something, just stay in the place of isness. Just stay in the place of isness. And let anything happen, what needs to happen, move. You'll be present in the state of changefulness, you'll be very present, but it's as though your mind is inside your heart at the same time, to feel beautifully natural for you, happily. Okay, thank you.
Ocean dreaming into being, this joyous world, the play of the divine, all of this we are, all this we are, all this we are. Flower of love, fragrance of joy, open sky of wisdom, whose light dispels clouds of despair. Now Maya's bewitching power no more shall bind us. We are free. We are free. Ananda Bhagavan Sachidananda Bhagavan Ananda Bhagavan Sachidananda Bhagavan Ananda Bhagavan Sachidananda Now Maya's bewitching power no more shall bind us. No more shall bind us. No more shall bind us. We are free.
As persons, we come and go. But what you have discovered and are discovering is the imperishable self. The person is not the imperishable self. Only in a place like this, I can say to you, yes, we only live once, but it's forever. Know this, embrace this. And be free. This is called winning yourself back. Thank you.
Nice lunch.